What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Spero Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Wave 3 figures. So first we're starting off with the Horde Brute. So of course with a lot of these figures we've already seen them, like their base bodies, all that sort of stuff. So nothing new with this guy. He just has the larger body that we've seen before. So like the big gorilla body just for the Horde now. So that looks pretty cool. Comes with two awesome weapons and just going to be a big brute to fight for the Horde now. And then behind them we have more of like our army builder guys. So first we have the Horde Infantry. So again, we've seen these base figures before. So he has more of like the chimpanzee or mandrill face for that. So you get those different options. Then we have the Fairless Stalker, so part of the Fairless. So they're more of the cats. So we get the two different cat heads. And again, with these being army builders, you can buy multiple, switch out the heads, give them different armor, all sorts of stuff. And then finally, we have the Chunari Sentry, which look pretty cool as well. Again, another like the ape heads and look cool with all gold armor on there. And of course, they each come with different weapon accessories. So these all look pretty cool as well. So once again, doing these Animal Warriors, I'm excited to check them out. So let me go and get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with the Horde Brute, which serve as mobile tanks for the Horrid legions. And these massive brutes break enemy lines and strike fear into any foe they meet on the battlefield. And overall looks pretty cool. Of course, we have had a big figure like this before. I'll show you the one, but we've had it with like Thane, and then we had Tanger as well that are in this big gorilla type body. But this is just a part of the Horde this time, so like the bad guys of the group. So it's got the all gray fur body again that kind of fits in with the Horde. A lot of them have this gray color, so he's got that, and then this darker blue armor as well. So he's got the helmet. Again, we've seen this helmet design before, but he's got the helmet on there. Of course, love when they make that face. All this is going to just be complete reuse, just obviously different colors and everything, but it's still got the same helmet with the fan up top, and like I said, the face there showing the teeth, the big shoulder armor there with the strap with the buckle that looks pretty cool that comes around there. So got that all strapped around on him, and then a forearm armor as well that kind of meets down with it with the different segmentation. And then on the other side we just have a forearm armor with like the bulb designs on there. Then he has the exact same belt design, but again just in this bluish gray color with a little bit of a purplish pink color there towards the bottom. So I like that pop of color. And then an armor on one of his legs and a bare leg on the other, and of course has the ape-like feet with the additional toe off to the side there. So that all just looks pretty cool. Like I said, unfortunately with these, they're all pretty much the exact same figures, just repaints this time. So we've looked at all these before, so nothing new or different. It's just the colors and what classifications the characters have. But we'll do his movements, so his head will twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and up that far. So not a whole lot of movements in the head, unfortunately, so just back and forth there. Then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. Then we get a bicep twist. Now, a lot of these joints I'm going to have issues with just because they're so stiff on these figures, but he does have a bicep twist. Like I said, it's just hard to get a hold of him, but it does twist around there. And then we get the single elbow joint as well that can bend close to 90, and it has rotation in it also. And then we go down to the wrist that can twist all the way around. Of course, with the armor, it's getting stuck there, but it can twist around and has a hinge up and down for it. Then we can go to his like ab crunch here. So he's got the big ab crunch cut out there, so he can crunch forward and crunch back a little, so crunching back and forth, and you can get him in different positions. And then he twists around at the waist as well, so you can twist all the way around. Then we go to the hips, so the hips can come up and maybe a little bit difficult, especially with the skirting, but I can at least get it up that far and then out to the side there some as well. Now he does have a thigh twist. Now it's hard to really see, you can see the cutout there, but it's hard to twist just because these joints are so stiff. It does twist, it just doesn't twist very much. Hard to do that joint. And then we get the single knee joint as well that can bend back pretty close to 90, and it has the rotation in it. And then we can go down to the ankle where we get the rock back and forth and twist side to side. So especially with this armor piece, hard to get the movements. And like I said, we've had this before, so it works exactly the same. Just a big bulky gorilla type character that has some armor on top, but overall it still looks cool. It's a nice big body to add into the group, and like I said, adds a big tank for the Horrid legions. Now accessory wise, we do get some additional hands, so we get some like open, more grasping hands, whatever, so you can grab onto something there, maybe put his hands and have him like holding up somebody, getting ready to like pull their arms off. Then he gets some weapons, so these look pretty cool. So we get a axe. I'm pretty sure we've seen these before, but a nice axe blade on one end and more of like a spear tip or just some sort of like tip point there on the other end, so you can easily like quick spike or a wide broad axe there, so it looks cool. And it has some of the dark blue colors there on the handle. And then we get the mace as well, which looks cool with the nice spikes there up top, and again some more of the blue wrappings on that. Now I really want to put these in his hands, but I don't know how easy this will be because their hands are so stiff, and we did heat them up, but obviously it's cooled down over time, and now they're probably real stiff again. So I'm not sure if I'll even be able to get any of these weapons in his hands, but I'm going to try. So there I got both of them in his hands. So the hands were pretty difficult, but they're still a little bit soft and rubbly, just around the thumb and the first finger there. It's a little bit tighter, but I was able to squeeze them through. So there he's got both of those weapons. So now he looks really dangerous carrying those into battle. And to make him even cooler, he comes with some additional hands where we get hands with some like brass knuckles on them as well. So we could put these on and have a more like bare knuckle fighting where he's got the brass knuckles on him as well. So that looks pretty cool. But since I got the weapons in his hands, I don't want to really mess with that. Just leave them there. And then of course, as I mentioned, we have had him before. So we have Thane here, the leader of the Chunari. So we can have them now fighting off or facing off in battle against each other as they clash. But overall, looks pretty cool. Like I said, unfortunately with these, they're going to be pretty boring just because we've already had all these figures before, body-wise and stuff. They just switched up the colors and have a little bit variation in the story. But overall, I think he looks really cool. Nice big brute here, looks pretty awesome. And it'll be a nice big addition to the Horde legions. And speaking of Horde, we have the Horde Infantry, which are higher up in the food chain, but in less numbers compared to the Ravengers, but they're better trained with more reliable equipment and often serve as officers to keep the Ravengers organized. And overall looks pretty cool. Again, we've had this body before, and I will show you the Horde, and looks relatively exactly the same. Like the Brute, he does have the gray body, so gray fur all over for him. He just has the different face, so he has more of what I call like the chimpanzee face, so it looks pretty nice. I love how it's all red with the red ears and red face, so that's pretty new. But everything, we've seen this head multiple times as well, but looks decent overall. And then he has the armor, so we get this armor piece that comes up on his shoulder, so like a pauldron piece or something. Looks pretty cool with the little spikes on there. And again, it's going to be on this bluish gray color everywhere else, so very similar to the last one with a nice strap coming around. And then he has armor on his chest as well, going around there to the back. And then he's got a forearm armor here with some spikes on it as well, and then a forearm guard on the other side. I like how we can see his abs, so Monkey Man works out. And then we get a belt around his waist as well, so nice belt design with the bulbs there, and then some skirting pieces that hang down all the way to the leg armor. So we have the exact same armor, just in different colors, like how this is like a metallic-y silver, and this is that blue and gray with the darker blue and stuff, all the way down to the 8 feet there for him as well. So overall, once again, we've seen this body before, just a little bit different design with the armor especially. But for his movements, we have this head that'll twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. So again, not the most movements, mostly just at the upper neck. But there is some movement at the lower neck as well, just a little bit back and forth there. And then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. And he's got a butterfly joint. I almost forgot about that. So butterfly there as well. Then we get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, which isn't bad, with a wrist that'll twist around. And this one has the hinge up and down once again. Then we go to the ab crunch, so the cutout there with the abs, so crunch back and forth, so nice crunching forward and back as well, so that's nice. And then it also feels like easy. I got some crunch and twist around at the waist as well, so he can hula with that joint, so that's nice. Then we go down to the hips that can come up that far, probably because of the skirting, can't get any farther, but not too bad. And then out to the side there, we get a thigh twist that'll twist all the way around, and the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, so not too bad for that. And then of course we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall decent movements, pretty good movements. I love, having the butterfly joint, and then the ab crunch, how much further it can crunch back and forth, and then the additional crunch at the waist as well. So really nice movements overall for the figure. And as usual, it comes with a number of accessories. So we get an additional head, so we get this head as well. So this has more of the mandrill type face, so it has a little bit of the blue design there on the nose, which looks pretty good. No issues with this, but I'll probably just keep this one just because the one I'm going to show you already has this sort of face, so don't want to have this exact same, but looks pretty nice again with the gray fur, and I love the darker blue color compared to the red on that one. We also get a helmet that can go on his head, so we can put it on either one of these heads. So of course we've seen these helmets multiple times, and we'll see it multiple times throughout this video, so you can add that piece of armor with the helmet there. Looks pretty good again in the colors that match the rest of the armor. Then we get additional hands, so he comes with a set of fists, so fists for each hand, as well as a set of like wider grips, so you can have that again, whatever you want that for. Then we go to weapons. So first he comes with a sword, so we get this awesome looking sword. Pretty sure we've seen this before, I just don't know exactly where it came from, but it looks pretty nice with the nice like silver color that feeds into like the more cobalt blue, and then has the grayish blue there around the handle and stuff, so that all looks cool. So let's put that into his hand. So there he's got the sword in his hand, and then to go along with it we also get the shield. So again, we've seen this shield before that has the nice shield design, which of course it looks like it's got more of the lion head, so not sure why it's got those, because I feel that'd go for more of the House Fairless, but doesn't really matter. But it looks cool again with that more like cobalt, so a little bit of blue design in there. And of course we have the handle that you can switch and to either hole, twist it and everything to get it adjusted. And then we do also get a peg as well that comes with it, that we can peg into it, and then we can store it on his back. So they have the peg holes there, and with that additional slot you can peg that, so you can store the shields on their backs as well, which is cool. But let's go and just put this in his hand. So there's our Horde Infantry with that sword and shield now, and looks pretty cool overall, especially being all armored up there with the additional weapons. And as I mentioned, we do have other Horde, so of course we can bring in our Horde. I don't know if this is the scavenger, I can't remember, I get confused, but we have that guy. And then of course we do have their leader of Emperor Kali as well to add along with them, so looks pretty cool. They're starting to build out that army more. And then of course we can even add that brute in there in the back because the big muscle for them. So overall pretty cool for this Horde Infantry. I like the design a lot. Of course it's pretty much just reuse, as everything with these are going to be just the same thing over and over again, but I do like how they give you the different variation with the different heads. You can easily swap out a bunch of the armor. Now a lot of this is going to be built onto him, like his chest plate and stuff, but you can do it with other additional armor pieces and of course weapons and stuff. But I think he looks cool the way he is here. And next up we have the Fairless Stalker, which is the most common soldiers that make up the brunt of the Feralist army, and they serve on the battlefield as well as peacekeepers across the House Fairless territory. And once again, we've pretty much had this design before. It looks pretty nice overall. Of course, we have more of what I always call like the mountain lion or cougar head, so just part of the big cat's whatever sort of cat-like face that is there. That looks pretty good. I love like the little smaller ears on it and everything. Of course, the nice eyes there that have like a reddish orange to them. The bottom teeth sticking out with the little nose and stuff, so that looks pretty cool. Pretty flat and basic, but you know, it works out especially with some of the accessories. And then of course the same body, like the bodies are always going to be the same for especially these. They just switch out, so like the different hands to match with the houses and feet as well. But then it has the armor, so it's got the all solid armor chest plate in the center here, so it's all connected. I like the darker brown with the lighter brown around the sides. Then he's got a belt on that's got more of a bronzish color with some skirting that hangs down, a little bit of blue added in there for color, and then the same knee guards that the last guy had, just again with the dark brown and bronzish color there. And overall, you know, looks pretty basic but decent at the same time. And his movements, all these are pretty much going to be the same, but the head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent there. It's got a nice hinge up in there, and then of course the lower neck moves some as well. Then we get the shoulders up to 90 with the butterfly and can rotate around as well. We get the bicep and the double elbow that can bend all the way up there, so it looks a little bit further. And then the wrist will twist around and it has the hinge up and down once again. Then we go to the ab crunch, so you can crunch forward, crunch back, so again nice crunching, and especially by crunching at the waist and twisting around there as well, so nice good movements in that. Then down to the hips can come up again that far. If you kind of force it, it gets pretty close to 90 at least. And then out to the side as well. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, not too bad at all. And then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So yeah, joint wise it's going to be the same between the figures to the last one and this one and the next figure. All going to be the same because they're pretty much all the exact same body. The just variation depends on what armor they're wearing, if it allows, you know, the joints to fully move. But he works out pretty good. And to go along with it, we do get additional heads. So we get this head, so again another big cat head, so one that looks more like a lion. Looks pretty nice. Now I don't know which head I'd prefer. I mean, either one doesn't matter to me. It's just if we did switch it out, we wouldn't be able to give him the helmet either, so he comes with the exact same helmet. And I feel with him being like a lower level grunt, of course the helmet seems a bit weird and stretched out, doesn't really fit too well on him, but with it being a lower level guy, you know, the basic like troopers of the group, I feel I'll want the one with the helmet there, so I'll do that. And obviously with all the hair and stuff, it wouldn't fit on this head, so I'll probably just leave this one on just to put the helmet. But then he comes with additional hands, so again, like the last guy, gonna come with all the same, so we get a set of fist hands to go along with him, as well as more of the wider, less open grip hands. But then for weapons, we get the sword, so we have this like cutlass sword, which looks pretty nice with the nice silver blade there and brown wrappings around the handle, so that looks nice. We can put that in his hand. So there he's got the sword, and then it also comes with the sword spear combination. I always call it sword because you can have this piece and just use it as a sword, and that's what it looks like. Or we can put it on the end of the stick and use it as a spear, so we can give him this spear as well, which looks nice. So let's put that in his other hand, and that looks pretty cool. Like I said, for the Stalker being the basic infantry guys of Fairless, that looks pretty cool. And to go along with him, of course, we have the leader of House Feralist, which I believe this is a Atreyu. Again, it's been so long since I've done these, but there's the leader of House Feralist, so that looks pretty cool. We have those two together now to build out the army for the Feralist. And finally, we have our Chunari Centurion, which is a specialized unit of Chunari's finest that serve as the last phalanx of defense. They are personally handpicked by the finest recruits that went through rigorous training to earn the rank of Chunari Legionnaire. So this looks pretty cool. Now, I thought with his design, that he wouldn't be a part of the Chunari because he doesn't match like the reddish blue color that the other Chunari have. He's got this gold, but I guess the gold kind of makes sense with him being Centurions and like last line of defense, so have to have probably like the toughest armor and everything, and overall looks pretty decent. So we have the chimp like face design, and then he's got the all black fur, so really nice with that all black design. Looks pretty cool there. Of course, hard to see a lot of details, but looks overall nice. I love how it's got like the blue eyes. That looks pretty cool. And then the rest of the body again is going to be the same, just has the ape like feet there on him, and then the gold armor everywhere looks pretty nice. So the big armor plate that we saw in the last figure, just all in gold this time, with a nice dark gold belt around the waist with some skirting coming down, and then the gold on the feet as well, same as those last figures. So that looks cool. And then he also has this cloth hanging off, so like this hood and cape piece hanging off the back as well. So we've seen that with like Kali had that, so pretty cool that they added that just to add a little bit additional pop of color on there. Now with it being all black, like I said, I don't like it as much because it like hides some of the details, so wish they would have done a wash or something on it just to bring out some more details of the fur. But overall, I still think it looks cool. And then we get the head movements that'll twist all the way around and look down that far and up that far. So again, it doesn't seem to have as much movements with this head, so probably just with the design or something, not much. Then we get the shoulders up to 90 with the butterfly back and forth and rotate around. We get the bicep and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, not bad. Wrist twist around, and again has the hinge up and down for this hand. Then we get the ab crunch, so there, crunch forward, crunch back with the additional crunch and twist around at the waist. Then the hips come up, again, pretty much the same, very close to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. And then we go down to the foot that'll flex back and forth. Feels pretty stiff on him though, but flex back and forth and can twist side to side. So again, exact same movement, so nothing new for that. And then we go to accessories. So he will also come with a helmet. So we get the helmet that we can put on him. So all three of our basic guys here have the helmets, but the helmets fit much better on the ape creatures compared to the cat one. It was a little bit too big for him, but they fit really nice on those. He comes with the same additional hands, so we get the set of fist hands and then the more open hands, again just in the black this time to match the fur. Then we have his main weapon of, he comes with the spear mostly, so we get the spear, but with gold this time. Again, you can take this off and just use this as a sword if you want, or we can put it on the stick to turn it into a spear. So we get that there with a nice brown handle and nice gold design and stuff, so that's cool. So let's put that in his hand. So there he's got the spear, and then he also comes with a shield, so we get this nice gold shield design, again with the big head that looks like a lion to me. It's hard to tell exactly if it's supposed to be a lion or one of the apes, but looks pretty good overall for that, and the nice gold design. I'm pretty sure we've seen this before. Again, has the handle we can put into his hand, and then also comes with the bracket piece, so we can easily take and put it into his back. Of course, he's got the cape, so a little bit difficult to store it on there with the cape, but we do have that option. But let me go and just put this in his hand. And there's the Centurion with the shield and spear there, and I tried to sort of sped him up like a phalanx, so trying to be, like the Spartans with the sword and spear design. Overall, I think that looks pretty cool, again being the last line of defense for the Chunari, and that looks really cool there. I love that design. And then of course we have our other Chunari, so whatever level of Chunari this is. So again, this matches more with the red and blue design, and of course being led into battle by Thane, so that big gorilla that I showed you earlier. So like I said, it just kind of looks weird since they're all in gold this time instead of like the red and blue colors, but looks really cool overall. Love this design. Of course you can pose it up and have fun with this overall. Just once again, a fun looking character. Well, that's gonna be it for our Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Wave 3, where we got the Horde Brute, the big guy there in the back, the Horde Infantry, the Fairless Stalker, and the Chunari Centurion. All of these are pretty cool. Of course, no like big name characters or anything for this, but we got nice army additions, so we either get basic army builders, or I guess you could call that for like the Fairless Stalker, or then we get higher up, like the Centurion and the Infantry there, and of course adding the Brute in the back as well. So all of these look pretty cool. Like I said, it's kind of like more boring because we've had all these before. We have pretty much the exact same armor, just reuse a different color all over again. But I still think they look cool with the different ways they have them set up. And then, of course, with the additional packs you can buy to give them additional armor or weapons, whatever you want to sort of match with the colors they have, is all pretty cool that you have so much different variation options with these figures. But let me know what you thought of this wave down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.